Hello there in internet land. This is episode 35 of Stop the Damn Match Wrestling Podcast, your mum's 316th favourite wrestling podcast. I am your slightly broken Phil Lamington.
Yes.
Seated to my left is Dr. Seamus. He's back. How are you?
Hello there. Yeah, not bad. Not bad.
So, we were supposed to have Beck on here as well, but she's got some personal stuff, but so she hasn't quite sent through her scores yet. But if you're watching the YouTube version of this video, you will have the scores pop up on the screen as we go. Oh no, she sent them through. We've got them. We've got them. Oh,
ladies and gentlemen,
jolly good. Thank you, Beck. All right. So, premature adjudication there. I sound a bit funny because I've got a bit of a cold, so I'll try and smash through this as fast as possible. But we literally just finished watching the WWE Money in the Bank Premium Live event. It's funny not calling it pay-per-view, but Premium Live event for 2025. The first match on the card is the women's Money in the Bank ladder match. And it had Rhea Ripley, Naomi, Julia, Roxanne Perez, Alexa Bliss, and Stephanie Vicaire. And towards the end of the match, you had Alexa Bliss and Rhea Ripley fighting on top of a ladder. And then, with a couple of ladders set up in the corners, flat, Naomi came in. Alexa Bliss and Rhea Ripley conveniently climbed down halfway down the ladder before Naomi pushed it. They both fell onto one of the separate ladders. Naomi set the ladder up, climbed up, and retrieved the Money in the Bank briefcase. And Naomi wins. So, Seamus, what were your thoughts on said match?
It had some pretty decent spots. Like, Alexa's really good. Stephanie Vicaire, I haven't seen a lot of, but she is very good. Roxanne Perez, also quite enjoyed it. Julia is okay, but she's one of the weaker competitors in the match. Naomi is fucking dog shit, as per usual. I mean, her look is better. Her theme song is significantly better. But that's pretty much all she got going for her. Alright, and Mami, of course. I mean, she always performs. Little sad she didn't win, but the spots in that match were pretty solid up until the end. And the end was just fucking meh. Terrible choice for a winner. And that's the only reason it gets 3 stars from me.
Okay, so you gave it 3. Beck actually sent some notes through too.
Oh, shit.
So, she said, didn't catch all of this, but what I did see was pretty great. Like normal, I am upset Rhea didn't win. And out of everyone else, fucking Naomi? She gave it a 3.5 out of 5. My thoughts on the match. There was great spots. I thought Julia, Roxanne Perez, and Stephanie Vicaire added a little bit of spice to a match that the last couple of years has been pretty boring in the women's division. So this one sort of made it stand up a little bit. But the ending was rather soft. Particularly watching Alexa Bliss and Rhea Ripley climb down halfway down the ladder so that they can fall onto the ladder that they're supposed to be hitting. When the ladder gets pushed over, looked a bit soft. And I just don't see much in Naomi. But I still gave it a 4. How the hell does that happen? Anyway, right. So, the next match was for the Intercontinental Championship between Dominic Mysterio and a guy from AAA, or TNA, one of the two, Octagon Jr. And towards the end of the match, Dominic hit a 619, then hit the Frog Splash and retained his Intercontinental Championship. Beck's thoughts on the match were, it was exciting to watch, but was over too quickly. But she gave it a 3 out of 5. What were your thoughts, Shay?
It was quite entertaining. I mean, Dom is improving significantly in the ring, showing that he can actually go toe-to-toe with the professional luchadors, which is really cool. And it is good seeing AAA now finally like integrating with WWE, which is always a good thing to see. More luchadors is not a bad thing at all. I give it a 3.5. It was better than the ending of the women's match, women's Money in the Bank ladder match.
I gave it a 3.5. I thought it was a great showing by both guys. It was a good, solid match. The only thing that I hated about it was it really didn't have a story. Like, you knew that Dominic Mysterio was going to win, so it was sort of we'll chuck it on there for the sake of it, and because, like, the AAA guys were in town and some of the TNA guys were in town, so we'll chuck it in there. But, you knew Dominic Mysterio was going to win. Like, there was no stakes to it, really. And the match didn't really tell a story. It was just move, move, move. It wasn't like a Young Bucks match where it was just spot after spot after spot. But there was no underlying narrative for it other than from point A to point B. But still gave it 3.5. Right. Jesus, we are absolutely blatting through this one. So we're on the next match, which is the Women's Intercontinental Championship match between Lyra Valkyria and Becky Lynch. And if Lyra Valkyria wins, not only does she retain the IC title, but Becky Lynch can never challenge for that belt again. And if Becky Lynch wins, Lyra Valkyria has to raise Becky Lynch's hand in victory. Well, after they try and do a few reversals of roll-ups, eventually Becky Lynch gets a roll-up reversal and a handful of tights, gets the pinfall and the win. Becky Lynch is your new Women's Intercontinental Champion. So, my thoughts on the match, I gave it 2.5 stars. Like I'm fucking Dave Meltzer. It was pretty generic, this match. Like, I zoned out a couple of times because I was just like, I don't really care. I'd go as far as saying I'd sort of start to be happy if I didn't see Becky Lynch on TV anymore, because her teeth annoy me. The only memorable thing about this match really was the "We Want Truth" chants. So I gave it a 2.5. Beck, she sent through, it was okay, pretty standard, but I'll always be a Becky stan. And she gave it 3 out of 5.
Is that meant to be a Becky Mark?
Oh, hi, Mark.
Oh, hi, Mark.
What are your thoughts, Shay?
Yeah, Becky's getting stale. She's just doing the same shit she's been doing, just being a pure heel instead of anti-hero, which people loved. Lyra is very good in the ring, I must admit. The match was really pretty slow, though. Lyra needs to be with someone that's quite a bit younger. I guess she's making a name for herself and doing it quite well, and Becky's pushing her, which is nice. Surprised they had Becky win this. It was kind of bizarre. I was expecting Becky just to drop the title and then fade back into being a mother again. But who knows where they're going to go with this one. Well, I probably do, because it was a shoddy finish, so we'll probably have Lyra and Becky again.
Yeah.
Unfortunately. I give it, 2.5. It's one of the worst matches of the night.
The only other thing was the post-match thing where Becky got her to raise her hand like 5 times and then get her to put the belt on, and then Lyra hits a German suplex on her.
That's pretty good.
Yeah, that was... But, I mean, that's just setting up that this feud is going to go on for one more match. I'm guessing they put the belt on Becky to try and give it a bit more credibility, but also stretch the feud out a little bit. But, frankly, I think Lyra Valkyria needs to start working with someone like a Roxanne Perez or a Stephanie Vaquer. Someone who's a little bit younger and got a little bit more pep to her. So, right, so then we get to the next match, which is the men's Money in the Bank ladder match. Had LA Knight, Seth freaking Rollins, Penta, El Grande Americano, coming out to a luchador version of some American carnival music, whatever. You know the song, but you hear it and you're like, it's done by a mariachi band. Andrade and Solo Sikoa. Now, this was pretty full on, this match. Then towards the end, like, you had Bron Breakker and Big Bronson Reed come out to try and help Seth Rollins, and then United States champion Jacob Fatu and JC Mateo. Yeah, JC Mateo.
Not JB.
JBL. JC Mateo come out to try and fight them off and try and help Solo Sikoa. And then as Solo Sikoa is trying to climb up the ladder, Jacob Fatu pulls him back down and decimates him. And then Seth Rollins tries to climb up, and LA Knight fights him a little bit but gets knocked off, and Seth Rollins climbs the ladder and wins. Seth Rollins is the new Mr. Money in the Bank ladder match champion. So, Beck's notes. She's like, holy shit, that was insane. I had Penta pinned to win, but happy with Seth. 4 out of 5. Shay.
I quite enjoyed this match. It's one of the best matches of the night, if not the best match of the night. Super entertaining spots. The fucking the Mexican Destroyer on the ladder was nasty, but that looked really good. Just all the spots in this match were just incredible to watch. Bloody El Grande Americano, fucking Chad Gable, whatever you want to call him, doing a Shelton Benjamin spot with the ladder onto the ladder running up looked really good. That was just... Chad Gable is just incredibly talented in the ring. He's fucking Kurt Angle, like prime Kurt Angle, reminds me of that so much. Whatever the lucha thing is, sure, it's funny, and that also reminds me of Kurt Angle, the fact that he can pull a comedy spot, but he can be a dick at times too. Again, much like Kurt Angle, is versatile and he's ultra talented. I can't speak enough for him. I also pinned Penta to win this one, but much like Beck, I'm happy with Seth winning it because that'll carry on, and as Phil and I were discussing, probably going to challenge for the World Heavyweight title as opposed to the WWE one, because I don't think anyone's going to touch John Cena until either Cody or someone else takes it off him. That's on that side of things. I'll give it a 4.5 as an incredible match. As it should be.
I gave it a 4.5 as well. I think that Penta and Andrade were the MVPs of this match as well. Like those two and El Grande Americano really got themselves over in this match. Particularly Penta, like he was just taking a beating and kept going. I like that they kept throwing curveballs in because for me it was predictable that Seth Rollins was going to win this because the power of his stable, he really needed some sort of object, whether it be a world title or the Money in the Bank briefcase, to solidify his faction and the power that he has. So it was, for me, it was predictable that Seth Rollins was going to win. Maybe LA Knight was the other person who could have won it. But the curveballs got thrown, like with Jacob Fatu and JC Mateo coming out and fighting off Bron Breakker. How big was that spear from Bron Breakker on El Grande as well? Like, first thought you saw him at the entranceway, and then literally a second later, he's already hit the spear and is flipping over. So that was really huge. And my final note was this was an amazing car wreck. Like, it was a beautiful car wreck of a match. So I gave it 4.5. And then we get to the main event. The main event, which is John Cena and Logan Paul versus Cody Rhodes and Jey Uso. So there's a little bit of a spoiler here. the guy whose contract expired during the week after the crowd chanted, "We want truth." You got truth. R-Truth returned. Started doing over John Cena after he just ducked Cody Rhodes in the head with the belt. Cody Rhodes does him over with the title belt. And then Cody hits the crossroads, and Jey Uso and Cody Rhodes get the win. So we'll knock Beck's thoughts out of the box. So she said Cena and Logan Paul versus Cody and Uso. That was a very slow tag match. It was showboaty and boring until Truth came back, and I gave an almighty holy shit. Him returning saved the match 3.5. Right. You can go next, Shay.
I agree with Beck. It was quite slow. But that's just John Cena's normal routine kind of match. Logan Paul actually had some pretty good spots, as he usually does. As much shit as we give him, he is talented in the ring, and he obviously puts time into how he presents himself in the ring. And he gives a shit about the people that is in the ring with. Like, he's safe. He's not dangerous like some other people are. I get he's a fucking dick of a human being, but in the ring he respects the business, and it's obvious that he does, and I'm okay with that. Cody and Jay, not too bad. Cody's always good, as I was saying to Phil when we were watching it. Cody is the epitome of being a WWE superstar. He is the way he presents himself, the way he interacts with the fans, the way that when he has the championship belt that he respects that. It's so obvious that he's been bred for the business. He respects the business. He learned a lot from his father, obviously.
Yeah.
And
his brother.
And his brother, yeah. It's just so obvious that he is a WWE superstar in all aspects and shows it, which is good. Jay is getting there. He's growing on me. He still needs to improve a lot more, but he has the crowd behind him, and he's running with it, which is what you're meant to do when you're at that level. I think he's gonna drop the title to Gunther. I think he's gonna lose it tomorrow on Raw, purely for the fact that he was pretty roughed up from the spot from Logan Paul, the SR moonsault onto the announce desk, which was fucking incredible, by the way. But he was like selling his gut being injured there, so I don't know, maybe Gunther will win it back and then Jay'd have to win it back again. Not sure what's going to happen there, but Truth coming out, unfortunately Phil and I did kind of accidentally get spoiled by foolishly opening up Facebook while we were a bit behind the live watching, so that sucked, but that's 100% a Triple H play there by using the dirt sheets against everybody and flooring everybody with that surprise. That is a new generation of kayfabe, and it's what it should be. The surprises were there. Nobody expected that, and that, for a lot of people, rescued the pay-per-view. I didn't think it was too bad in the most part, but that saved this match in particular because it was quite slow. I'll give it a 4 just because of the surprise.
Right, well, I gave it a 4 as well. It started off slow, but it's like a lot of Cody Rhodes main event matches where it starts off slow and it's a slow build, but it does pick up. And when it picks up, that's when it comes alive and you get your energy back. It's almost like, because Money in the Bank was such a big match, they purposely did it slow so that they could give the crowd a little bit of time to build it up and build themselves back up for the big payoff. Particularly knowing that R-Truth was going to come back. R-Truth returns. That's a positive. R-Truth. It's a shame he doesn't get used on TV more until he got let go, but now everyone's just like, we want R-Truth. So I hope this means we're going to see more of R-Truth on TV and getting a bit of a push. But I thought it was a great match. I think Logan Paul actually did pretty good. I mean, when he took that, that superplex off the top rope while he was still holding the drone, and then he got the Uso splash onto him while still holding the drone. That was pretty cool. And the Asai moonsault he did onto Jey Uso from the ring onto the commentary table was just incredible. So I gave it a 4. To your point, I think that Jey Uso is going to beat Gunther on Raw tomorrow, but he's going to be banged up, and then Seth Rollins is going to cash in.
Oh, actually, I like that. I think that may be the play.
Yeah. So that way they get Gunther away from the world title, maybe ship him over to SmackDown or something. Jey Uso loses the belt, and Seth consolidates his power as Money in the Bank into being World Heavyweight Champion and having all the coins and all the chips in his arsenal. Right, so that's the pay-per-view. Now we're going to talk about the cheese graters, the cheese grater score. Now, Beck didn't give me this, but law of averages, because she gave me 2 3.5s, 2 3s, and a 4. So I've determined that she's given this a 3.5 out of 5 cheese graters. Shay, what are you going to give it out of 5 cheese graters?
I'll give it a 3.5. It had good matches, but the poor matches were pretty bad. The Money in the Bank, the men's Money in the Bank match is fucking good. It was one of the better ones that I've seen in recent history, which is always nice. And the main event surprise was a really nice surprise.
Look, I gave it 4 out of 5 cheese graters. Men's Money in the Bank was a great match. Probably match of the night. Cena and Logan Paul versus Cody and Jay, and the women's Money in the Bank matches I still thought were pretty good. The Dominic and Octagon Jr. match was pretty good, other than it didn't really have an underlying story. I think the weakest match was Lyra versus Becky Lynch, because it didn't do anything. It was fairly just meh. It was a generic Becky Lynch as a heel match. So I gave it a 4 out of 5 cheese graters. Right. So that was us speed running a pay-per-view review. Jesus, I haven't seen anyone do a speed run that fast on anything, unless they were running for speed. Yeah. So, right, thank you to Shay, and thank you to Beck for chipping in with this quick little pay-per-view review. Shay is going to go and spend time with his family, and I'm going to go back to bed. Because I got a cold and I feel like crap. So, and to Beck, good luck with what you've got coming up. So, you know what I mean. That's from me, Shay, Shogo, Tim. Actually want to send a quick shout out to Tim. He's had a couple of family tragedies in the last few weeks, and I'm trying not to get emotional with this, but everyone here sends our condolences to Tim. I hope everyone who's listening understands that. We're with you, Tim. But on behalf of everyone at the show, thank you for tuning in, and we will see you next time, which might be All In.
Yes.
All In or SummerSlam, whichever one gets in first. But thank you for tuning in, and we will see you next time. Until then, it is goodbye.